Welcome, welcome, welcome to another virtual group road to recovery with your host, Recovery Lord. Um, quick, a couple quick announcements before I get into today's group topic. I may be changing my group schedule to every other day, like a college schedule or something like that. It helps give me a chance to recuperate. For those who do not know, I did break my leg a couple of weeks ago, and I'm recuperating. I got a walker, so I'm be walking around and trying to get myself together. So, and then I also went back to work, so I want to just give myself a little bit of grace and a chance to heal. Like I said, take a break or take a break, but either way, a break gonna happen. And learning this lesson and having to come up the rough side of the mountain, I'm learning more and more the importance of downtime and having time to just, I don't know. Been doing a lot of reading. So I got this Dr. Sebi Herbal Bible 3-in-1 by, who is this? Valeria-Cruz Mendez. Really good book. I recommend you get it. I got this off Facebook, so I'm not sure the actual place to send you to get it. But one thing I did want to share with this, I'm taking notes out of this. One is, according to Dr. Sebi, which is something I agree with as well, you don't just treat the body, you treat the mind, body, and soul. One of the key points in this Dr. Sebi Bible is you have to become more alkaline. And it's not about waging war on a disease, but encouraging the body to heal more. That was kind of deep. Then when it talks a lot about being alkaline. So what I did is I did a quick search on symptoms of high acidity. And some of the symptoms are fatigue, headaches, anxiety, shortness of breath, sleepiness, tingling muscles, weakness, irregular heartbeat, an altered mental state. Who knew that poor nutrition did all of that? Plus, not to mention, if we talking about addiction, adding to cart. If you doing all this, you got all this going on because you're dehydrated. Instead of drinking water, you having a natty daddy or something like that. So that's already dehydration setting in. And all of these signs and symptoms of high acidity in your pH balance. It's easier for women to notice if they have high pH balance because of certain fumes. They be leaving chemtrails and stuff around. So that was just a little pre-thing, and I'm a read more of this Bible, Dr. Sebi Herbal Bible, because I feel like if some people are refusing to change certain things, the least they could do is replenish certain nourishments and stuff back in their body. So what I want to talk about today's group topic is 6 ways addiction is a family disease. 6 ways addiction is a family disease. And the first thing that they have listed is, number 1, increased conflicts and arguments. Substance abuse disorders can cause significant emotional and relational strife within families. These situations often force family members into difficult positions where they may feel torn or conflicted. The impact varies depending on who in the family is struggling with the disorder and how others choose to respond. So in the frame of that, consider the following. The first thing they want you to consider is, When an adult child has a substance use disorder, parents may feel a strong sense of guilt or responsibility, depending on the example they give, because sometimes they make a joke about it, but you heard the joke of the parent that's smoking a blunt or drinking a 40, asking their kids, let me see your homework. Let me see what you got going on. And actions speak louder than words. So while you saying, let me see your homework, that picture's worth 1,000 words. It's common for one parent to begin enabling the child's behavior, offering money, making excuses, or shielding them from consequences. So they saying this is common and probably to be expected, that one parent is going to automatically begin enabling the child's behavior, offering them a couple dollars. Because, the thing they say here in Baltimore is, well, I'm going to go ahead and get them the money because if they don't get it from me, I don't want them going out there doing anything and everything for a couple dollars to support their habit. And the reason this is not good, along with making excuses or shielding them from their consequences, sometimes these consequences motivate a person to change. So if you put in feathers and you making rock bottom extremely comfortable, then it's not rock bottom. Now, is it? No. Meanwhile, the other parent might feel frustrated or betrayed, leading to secrecy or blame between spouses. This is when y'all getting split. The true problem is not even getting addressed because y'all so busy going back and forth. Because it was you, it was this. Remember the time that is how you talk to them. It's because you don't spend enough time with them. You could do the coulda, woulda, shoulda game all day long, but keep in mind that in the beginning, they talking about adult children. And because family dynamics have changed and people are staying home, longer than they did in the past, it is a dynamic to where you want to respect somebody because they're an adult. But at the same time, when people live with you, they do have to abide by the requests and the suggestions that you give, as long as they're not extremely ridiculous, as long as it's something within their ability. The only time a request is too much is when you're asking somebody to do something that good and damn well is outside of their ability. So over time, this can create deep divisions and erode trust in a marriage. When a parent or sibling is struggling. So we went from the adult child to now when it's a parent or a brother and sister that's struggling with addiction. Other family members may not agree on how to handle the situation. Some people going to say you need to put that MFer, Mr. Falcon, out. Some people going to say, no, we need to take him to church because, Easter's coming up and maybe we could pray and get some oil from the bishop, put it on the door handles and things like that. So other family members may not agree with how to handle the situation, and feel free to be taking notes, because one thing I want to say is in between time and in the meantime, when I'm not doing groups every single day, on one of those layover days, that is the perfect time to go over your notes so that I know some of these planes actually land. So I'm not just, looking up with funky new shit like every single day. Listen to the breeze and, okay, you're right. Go back on track. One sibling might advocate for tough love while another pushes for continued support or treatment options. So when addiction hits a parent or sibling, or really anybody in the family for that matter, some people saying, we need to get them treatment. They need to get EP. They need to go somewhere where the deer and the antelope play. And some people are going to say, no, I need to spend more time with them. I need to love on them and X, Y, and Z. And that causes the friction. And unfortunately, the person in mind may be seeing all this, or the addiction may be seeing all this play out like a Broadway musical. And they may feel like this division and this separation is giving them a chance to get high in peace. And we know from previous groups, since I'm a virtual counselor, then we know from previous groups that is mathematically impossible. These disagreements can lead to resentment, distancing, and fractured relationships within the family. Ultimately, substance abuse doesn't just affect one individual. It ripples through the entire family system. Research shows that these disorders often disrupt communication, roles, routines, and emotional bonds across the family. I'm going to repeat those again because this is a lot. See, we think we're paying $10 for this stuff. And now you can't even get no marijuana or nothing like that for $10. You better have $25 or something or better if you even got the taste in your mouth. So it's saying it disrupts communication, which we know is key to any relationship. The roles. So sometimes if you have a parent that's addicted, they become the child, and then the child becomes the parent, or, big sister becomes mom, and little brother becomes dad. All type of, it just mixes everything up. And emotional bonds across the family. Using open communication and seeking professional help can help families navigate these challenges more constructively. And yes, this is easier said than done because some people are invested in this stuff working. And when you bring it up to some people, they just automatically have their mind made up how it's not going to work. And your mind is so powerful that if you feel as though this shit is not going to work, it's not going to work. 2, financial strain due to substance-related expenses. When a loved one is abusing substances, the drug and alcohol abuse effects on family finances can be overwhelming. These can range from moderate expenses like the occasional loan to extreme expenses like raising the addicted person's child. That's pretty deep. And see, people think in their addiction and they out, as they would say, in the world, in that world, that they so slick, so cunning. And look at this. This stuff is mapped out. They got this stuff mapped out. It is not, you not being slick. Financial strain due to substance-related expenses. Muhammad Al-Saudi, I see you calling me. I'm in the middle of this group. I'm going to call you as soon as it's done. And shout out to my man, Muhammad Al-Saudi. We've been friends now for probably 30-something years. How about that? When a loved one is abusing substances, the drug and alcohol abuse. Okay, no, I read that already. Excuse me. Other contributors to financial strain include if the person is stealing money to fund their habit, the cost of sending the loved one to programs to get them sober. Family members may need to take time off work to care for, support, or search for their loved one. Because when you know somebody's dealing with addiction, the minute they don't check in on homeroom, we get them butterflies in our stomach a little bit. And that's a scary place to be. People don't realize that's what they putting people that care about them in, but I think their addiction won't allow them to realize that. If the person with a substance use disorder, they're also called SUD. So if you do go get help and they abbreviate it and they talk about SUD, they talk about substance use disorder. If the person with a substance use disorder can't maintain employment, Parents or siblings may shoulder the cost of feeding and housing them. The cost of substance-related medical care. Financial strain can lead to greater stress, arguments, lying, and keeping secrets, distrust, and risk of health problems. Number 3, isolation from relatives and friends. Although addiction is often described as a family disease, its most intense effects are usually felt by those closest to the individual, namely siblings, parents, and children. Distant relatives such as aunts, uncles, and cousins may not witness the day-to-day impact and therefore struggle to grasp the seriousness of the situation. This disconnect can lead to several challenges. So what this is saying is the people who are struggling with addiction, whether it be a parent, whether it be a child, the people in the house, and the people who interact with them on a day-to-day basis see the brunt of the aspects of their disease of addiction. Aunts in, down North Carolina, because here in Baltimore, everybody got a cousin or aunt or somewhere down Virginia or North Carolina. Cool. They don't know what's going on. They don't know you like I know you, Slim. No one does. So they may downplay. Sometimes you call, yeah, this person won't get themselves together, and oh, what? I just seen them on Facebook. They look this and that, and they may downplay some of the things that you see every day, which could even hurt even more. Uninformed opinions. So this disconnect can lead to several challenges. One of the challenges from isolating yourself from relatives and friends is uninformed opinions. Distant family members might offer unsolicited advice or make offhanded comments, not realizing how harmful or dismissive they sound. So what I tell my clients, this is a reason why you don't spill all your beans and tell all your business when it's Thanksgiving and you got all this family coming in from out of town. That's not when you're supposed to talk. You're supposed to talk in group. Don't be quiet every damn group. But soon as your family come down from Florida, yeah, and I overdosed and I just got out the hospital, because that creates uninformed opinions. Second, misplaced blame. Without understanding the full picture, they may judge the immediate family member's choice, adding to the emotional burden. 3, social withdrawal. As a result, close family members might begin to isolate themselves, not only from extended relatives, but also from friends and even grandparents, feeling that no one truly understands their pain or perspective. And when people get like in this mode, in my experience, a lot of that pain or perspective, they just want to tell you how it's doom and gloom. The sun is never going to come out again. It's about to rain for 40 days and 40 nights. It's the end of the world. And a lot of times that's their addiction. They actually hide behind those phrases. So they're not even challenged. They don't even want to be challenged. When family members feel judged instead of supported, it only deepens the emotional toll of addiction. Building awareness around how addiction impacts close relationships is critical to fostering empathy and healing. Number 4, it shifts in family roles to accommodate the addict. While every situation and household is different, there are common family roles in addiction. And we'll do a group on that another time, the family roles in addiction that people find themselves falling into. These roles are a reaction to the addict, either to enable them, dismiss them, or protect themselves. Filling these roles often leads to dishonesty and a lack of trust as parents and siblings attempt to navigate the bombshell that is the substance use. These roles usually take an outside perspective, which is why, again, the idea of going to seek help, professional help, because you don't want to get help and seek help from somebody who may be worse than the person that you worried about. So what advice you think they're going to give? They might not give none. They might hear you talk about so-and-so can't stay off cocaine and they can't stop drinking. And now they realize if some part in their mind, I got somebody that I can have a duet with. Why let it be a solo? Because some people say, well, if they're going to get high anyway, if they're going to be out there drinking anyway, it might as well be with family. And then something happens and that same family, I don't know I don't know where they got that shit from. I don't know who went and bought that 20-year-old alcohol, knowing damn well you gotta be 21 to go and get the stuff. Let me see where I left off at. Okay, that's 4. 5, emotional distress among friends and family members. The emotional toll that addiction takes on parents, siblings, and children is well documented. It is extremely distressing to watch your loved one go through the throes of substance abuse. You may feel powerless to help as they went through withdrawal symptoms, struggle to stay sober, relapsing, lost their job or housing, lied to you, stole from you to buy drugs or alcohol, experienced health problems, threw their life away over drugs and alcohol, lashed out at you for trying to help. Every situation is different when it comes to substance use, but addiction often transforms loved ones into someone their family doesn't even recognize. It hurts to see your parents, siblings, or children suffer, especially when you don't know how to get through to them and convince them to get and stay sober. The reason why this is tough is because this is gonna be something that they're gonna have to want. And one of the saddest things about addiction is that a lot of times, more often than not, people only want help after they have suffered a certain amount of consequences. After they lost a car, lost a job, got a probation officer, experienced a recent overdose. Sometimes when you're saying all this, yeah, it's cool. Like, I already know my numbers went down because it's the first of the month. It's everybody's birthday. So nobody want to hear this recovery shit until it's the middle of the month and them pockets deflated. And now they more receptive to hearing. They tired of being stuck in the box. But the first, second, the third, don't nobody want to hear this, Sharif. That's a shame. Because you can never be too early. But you damn sure could be too late. Number 6, neglect of family responsibilities. When someone you love is struggling with substance abuse disorder, it's normal for everyone in the family to react in different and often intense ways. These emotional and behavioral shifts reinforce the idea that addiction is a family disease. The impact isn't limited to the person with the addiction. It spreads to every relationship around them. Because remember, I constantly say, a person can only know you to the depths they know themselves. Some people get drunk every day or high every day to the only version of themselves that they know is the one that's under the influence. And they start saying dumb shit like, I think I drive better. Once I had a miniature. But your goddamn driving record says otherwise. Here's how that often plays out within the family. First, enabling behaviors. A parent may begin to enable the addicted loved one by failing to enforce boundaries, covering for them, and constantly rescuing them from consequences. Again, consequences is the main motivator for a lot of people to change. I work with a lot of people who love the way drink tastes. They love the way drugs taste. What they tired of is the goddamn court dates and the consequences that come with it. So you really want a loved one to change? Stop making rock bottom comfortable. Because in doing that, you may think you helping them, but you helping them hold on to that addiction a little bit longer. Because they could be in denial that they're even in rock bottom. Emotional exhaustion. This enabler often becomes the addict's emotional lifeline, pouring all their time and energy into supporting them. As a result, they may have nothing left to give to the rest of the family. You enabling and being this person that's an addict, they everything. You the butcher, baker, and the goddamn candlestick maker. And you doing all that for one person, can't get right. Meanwhile, everybody else is falling to the wayside. Guess what? After a while, they not on that sideline no more. Neglect of other children. Siblings of the person with the disorder may feel overlooked as the parent becomes consumed by the one always in the goddamn crisis. The squeaky wheel gets all the fucking oil. So a good kid is expected to be perfect. They can't have a bad day. You know how disrespectful that is? Because that's not realistic. Strained sibling dynamics. Resentment builds. The neglected sibling may grow angry at the addicted family member, pull away from one another, and disconnect from the rest of the family. So one sibling see the other sibling getting all this goddamn attention that they want. They start to resent that bad boy. So who's not going to show up now when you get better and you back on track? So these are 6 ways that addiction is not just an individual disease, but it is a family disease. Yes, you're right. I was passionate about this because this is a repetitive theme that keeps popping up in my work. This is something I have to deal with almost every day. And it's frustrating. And the time we put into watching Baddies Africa and all these damn shows and Power, and we watching Raising Kanan and all this stuff. Stop enabling. Request that somebody get help. Stop constantly repeating yourself and repeating the same thing and sounding like a broken record. Because guess what? I'm going to tell you something that I know. As much as people thinking they ignoring you, when they got to hop their ass in the back of a paddy wagon, all that shit they thought they was ignoring, they hear all of that. You're right. You're right. You on your way to go sit up in the damn canoe. It's too late. It's too late then. Now your job is to suffer the consequence of your actions. But they say for every action, there is an opposite reaction. So if you are putting all your responsibilities, again, this is you being able to respond to your abilities. So if you putting all your responsibilities on someone else, eventually you got to pay taxes on that. You can't slip and slide every damn day for the rest of your life. But this is the type of shit addiction or getting drunk every damn day will make you think. And you know what comes with drinking and getting high every day? Delusion. So somebody thinking like this is clearly delusional. And with that, God, grant me the serenity to accept the things I cannot change, the courage to change the things that I can, and the wisdom to know the difference. Some of that wisdom is knowing when enough has been enough. Some of that wisdom is knowing when certain things have ran their course. Some of that wisdom is knowing when you are going to stop being a training wheel. Because people will be grown as shit when it's time to go to the dispensary, but then be a child when it's time to pay bills. Guess who that work on? The people who allow it. And with that, be blessed. Happy Resurrection Weekend. If you haven't in a while, take your ass to church. Go to church. Get a good word. Get some positive spirits. Get a positive word. Do something different. And if you're a Muslim, go to the mosque. Go to Juma. Read Al's Quran. Don't just be a Muslim when you get locked up. Be one when you out and you free too. That spiritual connection helps you not be spiritually bankrupt. And with that, I look forward to seeing you guys on the next episode. La da 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 da.